One of the biggest things that I see is the limiting beliefs that we have that we can't do something. And if you were to plan out how to get something done, it would be very logical and easy to do. I remember that there was like this PhD student that I knew of that planned out every single step to get from one to get the degree done, had it all laid out in a nice little checklist and spreadsheet. And the trouble is that they struggled to get the thing done. And the truth is that there is all of these thoughts that are going in your mind, and that's like the battle that you have to face with doing anything, right? So the Reciprocity Project, I'm building this platform to help us do research better. And in my mind, I know exactly what it looks like and how it's going to work and that it's going to be very functional. And yet there's all these different steps along the way. And you feel like quitting at all stages. Every single stage, you feel like quitting. You don't feel like getting up and doing this again because um, you don't, you you think that you are failing at any given moment, and you feel like you are not good enough. You feel like everybody is getting ahead of you, you know, all of those things that are very real feelings. And the truth is, maybe they are, right? Like all of that stuff, maybe they are, but you'll never know. And you don't know where they stand. They're all experiencing the same emotions that you're experiencing. And then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if somebody is ahead of you, whatever that means, right? Like, is that an actual criteria in life? Is that a thing? Like, I want you to imagine, and depending on what your beliefs, this is my belief, right? You go into, you're at the gates of heaven, right? I'm not a very religious person, but imagine this: you're at the gates of heaven, and God is like, you hadn't done enough. You weren't the first, so you you're not allowed in. I just don't think life actually works that way, where there is a getting ahead thing that goes on, that there isn't ahead, right? Like whatever that is, I just don't think that actually works that way. And so in your mind, you have to pull back and say, what are we doing here? I need to just take these very simple steps, come back to the basic idea. It's just that it's little steps, little spreadsheets that you're doing and check boxing all these different spreadsheets along the way. And it's a beautiful thing to sort of think like that, but that's ultimately what we are doing, right? Like if something is not working, okay, we fix it. If there is a problem that's going on, okay, let's just work on this problem. Let's get this organized. Let's take a look at this and see if we can adjust it. There's not a lot of other answers, right? Like this idea that you're going to create something and it's going to happen overnight is absolute nonsense. This idea that you're going to get all of, I don't know, maybe you're in entrepreneurship, right? So that's what I often think about. But maybe it's something else. You're going to get all this venture capital money, right? Or, you're a PhD researcher. You're going to get this big grant and everything is going to go your way and it's going to be sailing. Oh, that's not real life. That's not what happened. It is a slow grind for everybody. And that one fortunate person, the fortunate few, that something amazing happens to them and it all works out. That's a fairy tale. It does not work that way for 99.9999% of the people that are out there. It's one little step at a time, doing your little thing, being okay with who you are at this given moment, and saying screw you to the rest of the people that are around you that are not being supportive. And that's going to be the bulk of the people. right? It's going to be the majority of people. There's going to be one person. And, this is what's going to happen. I know because, you experience this so many times. There is going to be 25% that are not going to be supportive, and they're going to intentionally try to tear you down. There is going to be 74% that is going to be completely indifferent, and they're going to look at you with a blank stare. And then there's going to be 1% that's going to say, good job, keep going. And I want you to think about that every single day. Is you're not speaking to everybody. You're speaking to that 1% where they're saying, keep going every single day. And it doesn't matter how old you are and what you're going through. The experience is often the same thing. And then we think of ourselves, and it doesn't matter the moment of your life, right? Like you think, oh, I'm too young to do this. I'm not quite ready. Well, yeah, when you get too old, then you're going to be like, well, I'm too old to this. I'm not going to do this thing. Or I'm too big. Oh, I'm too small. All of these things that are in our heads, we use those excuses when we could just get up and just start, try, do one little step, one little thing every single day. That when you look at it, it looks like a mess, right? Like if you look at any individual moment, two things you're going to notice. Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. It's not going to move the dial, that individual little tiny moment that you've done. It's not going to do nothing. And it's going to look ugly, like super ugly, but compounded over many, many years, it turns into something, right? I think about that in terms of exercising, for example, right? Like I'm not the best exerciser at all. That's okay, right? Because that's not the ultimate goal. That's not what we're trying to do, is to be the best. Um, to win all that sort of nonsense crap that everybody tells you about. It's just absolute crap. Um, but my goal is to get up every single day and be able to exercise, to do the things I would like to do, to live a healthy life, to function, to be mobile, um, to be able to smile, to not be in a bed, um, you know, to not feel just awful every day. Right? Those are different reasons of why you do this. And it has nothing to do with being the best. There's nothing about it about like you're gonna win and your life is gonna turn upside down. And no, it is a slow grind every single day to allow you to do the things that you need to do. And, that's what you have to get around to, is this idea that we're somehow winning, that there is a first, that your thing is better than my thing. That's absolute nonsense. It really, truly is. I live in this world every day of, of getting ahead and all this. I live in this world every single day. Um, whether it's, that the school that you're part of, or, the family that you're part of, or the career that you're in, take a step back, look at it. It's nonsense. Doesn't matter. Nobody, it matters that you put in the work. It matters that you get up and you do it and you do that thing. But it sure as hell doesn't matter that you're going to be better than somebody else today compared to, what's going on. That's nonsense. There's no such thing. At the end of the day, it does not matter. What matters is you do it every day. And the only way for most people to get up and to do it every day is to know that you're good enough, that you're already winning, that, it's It's about doing it for the joy of it. And it's not about winning, right? I want you to think about that. If you were to focus on winning, right? One person wins. One person. A million other people lose. Those million other people are going to quit. They're not going to do it. They're going to stop. Um, and then we're going to wonder, well, why did they quit? Well, shit, Sherlock. Um, they quit because they felt like they lost, right? Instead, come back, do it for all of these other reasons, knowing that, man, what you're doing is ugly. What you're doing is perfectly normal. And just keep doing that every day. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.